There's Mr. Horse. Followed us for a little bit, but he doesn't like to get close. See you later, buddy. Have a good day. He's like, what are you? Right? Right. Hey, YouTube, greetings. I'm gonna try to take you out on a little walkabout. I was afraid it'd be too windy, but it looks like it's a lot calmer up here than I thought it would be. I was getting quite a breeze down in the valley. So I'll let you join me on my walkabout instead of sitting in the vehicle talking. Not my most favorite thing to do. So, what I want to talk about. Shared a video yesterday from Texas. Put it on the G Plus and everything, so I want to make a video because I know everybody's not on my G Plus, but I think it's a really important video to watch. So basically, to kind of give some background, some fellows were trying to prove the point that Texas state statutes state you can film in a public courtroom and that you can film in a public setting. And one of their friends was going to a court hearing of some sort, administrative court, and they went in to film it, and the judge held them in contempt for having their phones on, or their recording device, before the proceedings even got started, really, as soon as the judge walked in. And I'll put links to some of these videos below. So that's what gave me some of the background. Those guys got arrested, hauled off in contempt for what? Nobody knows. You know, contempt of court is not a law, it's a judicial administrative decision that just gets enforced. Nothing to it. But there was a discussion that one of the friends of the people that got arrested held with an officer shortly after their detention, and it was very telling. I think it's very important that everybody listen to it. You need to listen to the words that are being said, and they're very, very well spoken, both sides, very respectful of each other. But you have to really listen to the themes and the ideas being shared of what some of the issues are. Nice looking horse. Maybe we'll get up here if it'll stand still long enough to share a moment with us. It looks to be a little skittish of people, but if I'm quiet, it won't run off. It doesn't. It just wants to run off. But it is a very good 38 minutes or so of discussion about the issues of police use of force, people trying to assert their rights, and that conflict that can ensue when both sides think they're right. How do you come to a peaceful resolution? It talks about trying to expose corruption, but the police oftentimes are the enforcers for that corruption, etc. It is really good. I encourage you to watch it. There's a couple other videos I'll post below that kind of give the background of some of this, and really that conversation gets to what Bikes and Bullets calls the Barratry, which is kind of the official term, and it goes into the admiralty law, which I hate to use those terms because it turns people off and they automatically just kind of think you're making up words to back your own agenda. They think people make this stuff up just so they don't have to follow the law and whatnot. And that's not the point. What really, when you get down to it, Barratry is what the Bar Association and the lawyers have put together to justify their existence and maintain control, or have an edifice set up throughout the country to maintain control of. It's a tiered class of people who put themselves in charge, essentially. That's the Bar Association. That's what Barratry is. There is a tie to admiralty law, potentially. I haven't gotten that far into it, but it's just a matter of, do you believe in absolute firm rights, or do you believe in what some lawyer tells you? They kind of get into that in a couple of those videos, and in that video, because the lawyer, they didn't have a judge in this courtroom. They have a contract lawyer that comes in for the city to do administrative hearings, because it's all administrative code violations. Nobody hurt anybody. There's no injured party in any of these events. They talk about that a little bit. It's just somebody wrote something down on a piece of paper, and they make you pay a fine for it if you break it. And they're kind of getting to the point of, if you decline, as they like to say, decline these codes, what does it really take? All they have is force and guns. Horse is still watching me after I passed him. All they have is force behind them to justify it. There's no injured parties involved. That's the Barratry, those administrative codes that really don't do anything. They don't protect us. They're nothing like that. But yeah, I just really want you to go check it out. Have an open mind. I know a lot of people on here that watch my channel. Not a lot, necessarily. There are people that watch my channel that are, you got to follow the law. It's the way it's written. That's not the way to change it. You have to vote. You have to change the system from within, etc., etc. And they kind of talk about that in that discussion. And there's people on here that are all about, that are absolutely on the anarchy side, I guess you'd say, of no government and everything else on this, that watch my channel. So it would be useful for everybody, though, to hear the two sides out in this discussion. And don't get, if you feel yourself getting mad or saying, well, you should just do this, or telling the other side the business, you're not listening. You're injecting, you're thinking too much instead of listening to what they're saying. Take it in first. Because I think the real issue is what it foretells for America with this type of discussion being had, which is a good thing to have the discussion, but it also shows how bad it could go if sides don't listen to each other. But yeah, bikes, if you want to get a chat running, we can talk about this. I'll host it if you need to, but it'll be really worth it to break down some of this stuff for people to, and so you just don't hear terms, you kind of hear what's behind it. They talk about in a couple of those videos, advice of counsel. Everybody has the right to counsel. What is counsel? You have somebody that's available to counsel you in a trial or in court, somebody to advise you. But the system that was set up here will say, well, just arbitrarily says, well, you have to be a licensed bar practitioner to do this stuff in court. Who appointed them? Because you can self-represent, but unless you have a bar license, you can't get somebody else in court. Why is that? Because they've established their own system. Anybody should be able to come in and advise you if you accept them as your counsel. I want this person to advise me. Why do you not have that freedom to choose? Oh, because the system said they have to be licensed in their system of the bar. And all the bar does is self-justifies itself through all these, using all these past rulings of their own people, of their own system, to justify whatever imposition of, enforcement or punishment that they want to do to justify punishing somebody else. It's a self-licking ice cream cone. So I guess that's my rant for today's lunch. Go check them out. Have an open mind, people. Realize what's right in front of us. Maybe Bikes and Bullets get a hold of me, and we'll stand by for a chat. Just a great day out here today. Really nice. Really great day. All right, you'll have a good one. Live free.